family's history with Port Adelaide Football Club stems back to the late 1800s when Pop Quinn played for Port Adelaide. They lived, the family home was at Birkenhead, and Pop played football here for Port Adelaide. Actually played in the Magenta Guernsey, and then when the boys came along, they still maintained their family home at Birkenhead, and of course in those days no automatic bridge across the river, so the boys had come down to training in the row across the river, the Port River, climb up the wharf, walk down to Alberton Oval. Pop would probably sneak into the Alberton for a couple of beers, and the boys had come to training, Dad had come to training, and that's the way it all started with my family. My dad's 4 brothers, they all played here, and it was a bit of a dynasty, I suppose, in those days. So at Adelaide Oval, I can remember as a young boy, one particular day we lined up. In the old days you'd line up, there were no reserve, all the members had seats, but there were no reserve seats for us. My mum and her best friend and my sisters and myself and maybe a mate of mine, a young mate of mine, would come down and line up at the northern end of Adelaide Oval just to get in, and if we were lucky in those days you'd be able to get around where the Port Adelaide cheer squad was. That was a community of its own in those days. The Port cheer squad was just massive, and I think if you look back at Adelaide Oval and what they called the floggers hanging over the fence, just about probably for 30 metres, 40 metres around the fence with this massive black and white floggers, and I have fond memories of the simple Adelaide Oval that it was, and it's going to be a marvellous thing that it is now, but the memories that I have is just the really simple about lining up, no special ticket. Didn't matter if you were Jimmy Smith or if you were Bob Quinn's son. There was no special treatment in those days. It was just line up and go in and watch your team. Look, we're really happy to have our name on the honour board. My 2 sisters, Margaret and Pam, and my brother Robert and myself are more than happy to have. We're actually very proud to be able to have the opportunity to have not only my father's name, but my 2 sisters and my brother, and my brother's children and my son and the family, as a whole, I just couldn't be prouder to have our names right next to my father's name, with that and alongside of some other greats in South Australian football, and it's just a wonderful thing for our family. We couldn't be happier.